to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today we continue Cinema Surprise Season 2 with my first pick of the new season. A director whose movies we have covered in entirety up to this point, and now we are going to get his most recent edition. We are talking The Phoenician Scheme today, written by Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola, directed by Wes Anderson, released just a few months ago on June 6th, 2025. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And like I said, we have covered all of Wes's movies. It was only a matter of time before we got around to this, so I was going to quickly take it off the table for Cinema Surprise and quickly take the 20s off the table with The Phoenician Scheme. This was a third viewing for me. A first viewing for you. How are you feeling?
Uno. Yeah, a little... better late than never is the, what I'll say, but yeah, no, it took too long to get to this one, Wes. And I hope he forgives me. I hope Bill Murray, God, can forgive me. Actually, we have a face, or we have a name. But no, this is, if I could rewind time, and go back, it would make sense for me to pick this first and get it off the table, but I'm glad we got through the Spielberg. I thought that like Wes though is whenever I watch a Wes movie, I know for a fact I don't even care. I don't know. He could make a really shitty movie at the end of the day, but if it's just visually Wes, it's just stimulating. It's got
something going for it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm never going to be dissatisfied with Wes. And I think he's reaching a level. He's getting grander and grander a little bit each time. And, there is
more
a lot
spiritual,
more,
too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. I mean, heavily spiritual, this one. And I'd say, that's like the whole story.
He plays with themes that he's left up in the air for a few movies. In Asteroid City we had, well, you can't do that. You're Presbyterian, and at the end of the movie, he's like, you want to say a few words when they're praying over the mother's ashes, and the kid's like, I don't believe in God anymore, and Tom Hanks is like, yeah, I can't blame you. Just the way that he's playing with the secular nature of creating on your own terms and not answering to a higher power, but understanding that if there is a higher power, you feel like you're at their... I don't know. It's a fascinating dichotomy he's able to strike up when it comes to faith. And I love it.
Yeah. I mean, we have a literal nun, a sister... of the house in here. So yeah, and I feel like the actual main character of the movie a little bit, or at least the my performance focus. I love Benicio del Toro. I don't want to say that he didn't do a great job. He's filling the role perfectly. He has been in Westworld before, and yeah, he's still filling the role. But no, Mia, what is it? Threppleton. Boom. Where does that come from? Threppleton.
Not sure.
Wow. But, no, I don't know, she didn't have to say much at all. In West, the line delivery is different than most movies, but a lot of, I don't know, she had a lot of facial acting that was very clear what her emotions were at any given time. So I thought she was really, really, I for some reason thought that Scarlett Johansson was like a bigger part of this movie, or a bigger role. I thought that I don't know why. Maybe the marketing. I thought that maybe I just saw her in the trailer, and I'm just like, oh, okay, she's one of the main characters. And then I moved on and put this movie in the back cabinet of my mind, I guess, for a couple months. But yeah, 80. Well, I don't know. I literally when I got done with the movie, I asked Google. I was like, hey, how many days has it been since The Phoenician Scheme came out? And then it didn't understand that. And then I had to look up.
They're like, I don't know what the fuck the Phoenician Scheme is.
And then I was like, Yeah, and then I was like, all right, how many days has it been since May or whatever the date?
June 6th, yeah.
82 days. It was, I don't know,
Man.
is the number. And that's just, that was bad. So, but
82
no.
days which you have
Yes.
sinned.
Yes, I have sinned, Wes Anderson. Forgive me for I have sinned. Yes, I have, but no, it is, I've got it under the belt.
To hell.
Yeah. Yes, slavery, but it's in the Bible. What is it's in the? But that I guess I don't know. That's a human written story.
Is it a sin,
book.
like in the Bible?
But
it's damnable.
It's
to hell.
Obviously,
that's one of the best line reads in the movie, dude. Bill Murray being like, "It's damnable." To hell. I think it's so funny. And there's a lot of great line reads in this movie. And to your point, Mia Threppleton does do an incredible job. She immediately asserts herself as someone befitting of the Wes canon. She is fitting like a glove. So is Michael Cera in a first-time Wes Anderson role. Kind of a match made in heaven. Yes. Michael Cera and Wes Anderson.
Bjorn.
But I actually am going Benicio del Toro for my performance. And the reason is because usually I walk away from Wes Anderson movies thinking about how good of a performance it was in the context of a Wes movie. I walked away from this thinking it's one of Benicio del Toro's best performances, period.
Actually. Yes.
And that's why I really loved it, because I think he immediately asserts himself at the top tier of Wes Anderson performers. And they so happen to be the immediate, I think this movie is kind of the love child of Royal Tenenbaums and Grand Budapest Hotel. And I think he's right there with Gene Hackman as Royal Tenenbaum and Ralph Fiennes as Monsieur Gustave. Yeah. I think that's kind of, as far as what I look back on, is like the classic, wow, those are really the creme de la crop of Wes Anderson performances. I kind of view those two as like kind of standing apart in a way. And Benicio del Toro, don't get me wrong, does fit a little bit more the standard of what a Wes Anderson performance has become, but I found it to just be a little more elevated and kind of fit that vein. And I think that he when it comes to the relationship formed with Liesel and stuff, you're obviously getting the estranged father stuff that you get from the Royal Tenenbaums. And then kind of, because they've been estranged and they're finding each other, you get a little bit of that Zero Mustafa and M. Gustave vibe where the little one, the younger one, influences the older one and makes them want to be better, and stuff like that. Like I really, really enjoyed that element, and I think that it's just, he keeps. I'm never going to understand the critique of Wes movies that he keeps making the same movie. That couldn't be further from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, aesthetically, he is, he has his vibe. There's no doubt about that. But even this, his first live action film, not shot by Robert Yeoman, has been evolved. Like it is a different looking movie than his movies typically are, and that was one of the things I was most excited about going into it, is that this one is shot by Bruno Del Bonal, who also did, Amelie, and a bunch of Coen Brothers movies, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Inside Llewyn Davis, Ballad of Buster Scruggs. So like he's a really well-established cinematographer, and I was excited to see how they could come together. And I think it's beautiful. Like, I genuinely think the jungle sequence towards the back half of the movie is one of the best looking sequences in Wes's entire career.
And that's, wow. I wonder if that's probably not a set. That's just the real jungle there. I wonder if it's actually built or not. Because I feel like a lot of what we see in a Wes movie, it's built. Like, it is a set that he meticulously is placing every single little thing there. But the jungle, I don't know, just to see what he is like out in nature, I guess we had Moonrise Kingdom, that's a pretty nature heavy, there, but I don't know.
I mean, specifically when it concerns his last few movies, like you're talking about, his last few live action movies, we're talking about the Grand Budapest Hotel, we're talking about, French Dispatch, we're talking about Asteroid City, all the shorts for Netflix, the Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar shorts, none of those can you say you were like, yeah, he obviously found an exterior he really enjoyed and just decided to shoot there. No, like everything in those movies is built there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that definitely feels the most out there as far as it's definitely the most unique sequence in his canon in a long time, which is kind of wild. And I think it pays off big time. We get a few split diopters that we'd never usually get out of Wes Anderson. He doesn't usually use that method. And there's one whenever Benicio del Toro's on the left side of the screen and sitting crisscrossed applesauce in the back is Mia Threppleton, and they're talking to each other. It's that whole sequence when they're going in order, basically airing out their traumas with like all listening to each other, but nobody responding to one another. I loved that. I really I love that part of the movie, and I love how much of a breeze it is. You know, this is always something for Wes. It's an hour and 40 minutes, and that hour and 40 minutes is gonna be quick as fuck. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this one is interesting. I feel like the story was I don't know. I thought maybe I don't quite understand the gap or the percentage or what is going down business wise.
Yeah,
just and are we even meant to? Is it just that he is on an enterprise? You know, he is on a business venture, and I
think that there's purposefully layers of contrivance there. You know, I think it's purposeful to kind of be like, it feels like all this stuff he's doing is, you know, I think it's to elevate the character a little bit too. Like he is an intelligent businessman. He's got ideas, and like we don't understand them.
Yeah,
but when it comes to the gap, they never articulate what the gap is. You know, what I've come to understand the gap as is an amount of money that he is not willing to spend. We have to cover the gap. You know, like, I'm willing to put this much money into it. I need them to cover this much of it. You know, like, I need them to fill this bitch out because I'm not putting any, and that's why whenever he comes to the conclusion at the end, you know what? Fuck it. I'll cover the gap. It's like, fuck yeah. He's like, we will build this thing and we won't be a part of it, but we set it in motion. Like that's a great conclusion.
And it's, I guess we had like Coca-Cola, it seemed like was like one of the representatives and Hershey's. I don't know if they were just, eating, happened to be drinking a Coke and eating a Hershey bar, but it felt like it was the corporate conglomerates, at the very, very top of the game. And they're just, they're manipulating the checkbook or like every book there is. And then,
it's
but like
cooked.
It's just an accepted thing. But then when one guy comes in and tries to do it on his own, that's a no. You're not a trillion conglomerate not even a company at that point, just a whatever that entity is. And it was I don't know what happened, what would have happened if he didn't cover the gap? You know what I mean? Does the market just implode? It just is like, because they did have like, I don't know, they made rivets or something and sold them,
the bashable rivets
for a nickel and just manipulate, so they did something there, but that seemed to be the only, the only thing that the market seemed, like to change. Whatever, like, well,
they inflated the cost of construction goods. So like building this was going to be nearly impossible unless they figured out how to manipulate the market to get the price of those building materials back down.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Like the rivets skyrocketed to like way above what they've been previous. Everything skyrocketed, and they're like my enemies are manipulating the market that we manipulated, and we get classic West dialogue like that throughout the whole fucking thing. But yeah, no, to your point, like I've watched it 3 times. I don't fully understand the business either. There are going to be people who I'm sure I might be wrong. I'm talking about it like I'm confident. I'm talking about what I perceive it to mean and how that affects the emotional payoff of the movie, really. Whenever he decides to go, fuck this, I'll do it then. I'm going to take every liquid asset we have. I'm going to take every asset we have, period. And then some, and I'm going to put it into that.
Whatever that means.
The slaves will be paid, which is
slaves
inherently
will be paid,
ironic.
The famine
will be ended.
end it. Yeah. So I mean, good. I guess I get the idea of slaves will be paid. It's like to end. But I don't know. It still comes off a little strange, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think it's he's obviously not a good guy. It's him learning how to be a good guy.
This is true.
We enter this movie with him being the richest man alive, the best businessman in the world. That is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what you believe and what your political affiliations are, the richest man alive and the quote unquote best businessman in the world is a piece of shit. That is one of the worst people in existence.
No
and I think that
either. No country can hold him.
I don't need my human rights. Yeah. He's literally above. He views himself as above humans. That's his. He thinks himself a god. Like that is. He doesn't need to believe in God because he is one.
Yeah.
Functionally. And I think that whenever we get that monologue, I really, really do just love it. I think that him talking about how, and he says a bunch of different things that all mean the same thing, which is very funny. My certificated abode, my official residence, those all mean the same thing. And he's like, I don't live anywhere. I love that whole thing. And that's why like Benicio del Toro is the shit. I love the black and white sequences in heaven, or the waiting room, if you will.
Yes, of course. Yes. That was, those were like seemingly maybe he's so just used to death being around him or the threat being around him, but almost it is like he's trying to die, he's like, but he just happens not to. And he just has these visions and he's like, yep. All right. I'm back. It's whatever, I'm on another assassination attempt. Oh, well, time to move on. So it's like, He doesn't even think of these visions as like much, but.
Well, I think these were new. I think they affect him different. I think they are a huge part of what affects him differently. The first
you don't
time
think he had them before, like
I do not. I do not think he had them before. And the reason I don't think he had them before is because whenever he's in the meeting with the Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks characters, and he gets vulnerable all of a sudden. And he's like, she didn't recognize me. And he's talking about his grandma at the beginning, who's like, I don't know who you are. And, he goes, she didn't recognize me. And he starts talking about her mom and what, all this sort of stuff. And she's like, is this normal for him? And they're like, no, not at all. I have no idea what the fuck this guy's doing,
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if either he's never had them or they're affecting him in a new way.
Yeah.
But I take the actions that follow this most recent plane crash because he says this is the worst one I've ever had. This is the worst plane crash I've ever been a part of. He immediately goes and gets his daughter and is like, you're going to be the heir to my estate. That's true. Almost like it's kind of like that was the closest I've ever come to dying. I saw the other side, basically. And now I know that I need you. And I think that's also a cry for help, you are a woman of God. You are a good person. I have infected you the least. Maybe you can bring me back. Yeah. Maybe you can save me in a way. And maybe that's not, I'm talking on a subconscious level. I don't think that's expressly what he's setting out to do. Yeah. But as far as what the results are, I do think that there's a little bit of that, like where he thinks he could be damned to hell whenever he goes into his visions and like, will he be forgotten or will he be remembered for being awful?
Yeah. I mean, if you were in a heaven-like scenario and then your family doesn't recognize you, you might be like, oh shit. You might be like, oh God, that's not a good sign. Like, I would like to be welcomed, that would be a nice sign. But, and then like, he's like on trial, I guess, up in there. He's like, oh, wait,
is this for me?
Or, and the tribute that he gave, of money was not satisfactory. I love that was cool. So the visions, I think it was the idea of death didn't affect him. He was just kind of like, oh yeah, another set. But the visions definitely, had a effect on him. And I think that's like the business part of the movie. I don't think it really matters anyways, because it's just a plot machine to really have the spiritual journey take place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's nice to, at the end, I guess the corporations win or whatever. Like they can still function and do what they want to do, but at least they gave up everything, everything and some, and just to work, a humble life and play cards at the end,
and the Phoenician scheme itself was a pretty humanitarian venture. It was just the things they were causing in service of it were going to be bad. Like the famine and the slavery. Those were the things, like the slavery to make it work was going to be bad. The famine they were causing to put it into place was bad. But once it was up and running, it was going to unite a region and create a flow of commerce that was actually invigorating to the whole place. So it's like, once they're like, we're going to end the famine, we're going to pay the slaves, and then we're going to enact the Phoenician scheme. It's like, oh, well, this actually isn't that bad anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a capitalist venture, and the corporations did still win, like you said. But that's what I think is interesting about Wes Anderson. Is as far as his political sensibility is definitely getting sharper too as he continues to grow as a filmmaker. I think that's never really been absent in his work. Grand Budapest Hotel features a pretty prominent rise of fascism and the decay of kind of beauty in that. French Dispatch has a whole storyline about a gay black man in a foreign land getting arrested for being gay and black. Like there's
He's
a lot
confident here though with it. I feel like
it's the most the whole movie is about it.
It's I don't know. It's nice you have kind of anti, just capitalism and bad conglomerate evil corporations, and then you got the spiritual journey on the side, and then you got literal a commune in the jungle, freedom fighters out there, and they infiltrate. Who do they rob? Whoever he's meeting, I guess. At the time,
something Bob, Marseille Bob.
Fuck, I can't. Yeah, nothing sounds the same anymore.
I can't hear Bob.
I don't know, whenever they're just announcing themselves and sorry for this senseless violence, or whatever, they didn't even want to shoot him, but no, I think the spirit, like, it was very, very spiritually heavy, which was I don't know, I didn't expect this.
The communist revolutionary played by Richard Ayoade, who is hilarious. Loved him in the Henry Sugar Shorts. And he was a voice of a droid in The Mandalorian recently, the one that in the jailbreak episode that parks the ship and stuff, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's Richard Ayoade too. I mean, he's been in a lot more stuff, but I just knew that would be a recent one that you'd know him from. Nice. I really like that actor, and I really like him in this role. I love that part whenever he talks to Mia Thrappleston and goes religion is a revolutionary act, it's a protest against suffering. And I was like, that's hard. She goes, I agree completely. You're not an atheist? He goes, oh no, I am.
Yeah.
It's I loved that. I thought that was such a funny, there's a lot of ways that Wes has approached faith historically that are exactly how I view faith. I respect it immensely, and anybody who has the capacity for it impresses me endlessly. Whenever there's a line in this movie that I don't know why it gets me about 20 minutes in, because it's not delivered with any sadness. It's not delivered with it's not delivered with anything like that. It's just Mia Thrappleston turns around and looks at Michael Cera and goes, "Do you still believe in God?" And he goes, "Sadly, no." He wishes he did. Yeah. He's like, I can't. I don't know.
Awesome.
I would love it if I did.
I'm jealous. That the faith is it's praying. I don't know. Even a nun or a sister practicing
of the cloth.
I don't know, is she even says that praying is she understands that it's no, it's really a one-way street. There's not anyone that is going to respond. It is really just me collecting my thoughts and kind of thinking of what God would say and then doing it, or whatever. That's
usually
kind of
obvious.
all it is. That was, I don't know, I feel like anytime I don't know. I've thought of prayer. I kind of have thought of it in this way, but I felt like I was boiling it down like very very harshly. I felt like it would be a like kind of offensive to people who actually
that's
pray.
what prayer is, like fundamentally, and obviously there's also people who like pray for other people. It's not like just that's like a what should I do sort of thing. It's like I pray that this person will be okay, and I pray for their health, and I pray for their like all that sort of stuff, which is a different thing, but whenever it comes to a what should I do sort of thing, give me direction, it fundamentally is going, okay, what would Jesus do? I mean, that's a classic Christian phrase right there, So, I mean,
true.
I really do appreciate that, this movie puts it so concisely, it's about the sincerity of your devotion, and it's not,
not the phrasing.
And rewatching it. Yeah. Whenever he's like, what did you say to get him to make that impossible granny shot? She goes, like dead ass. I didn't do shit. I love, and she said, I really wanted him to make it. I prayed to God that he would, and then he did, maybe that was because of God, maybe it wasn't, but I prayed on it and I believe in that, so like I really, really love that sort of, that sentiment. And I think that it's really, really strong here, and, it's moving, I've always found stories about faith to be incredibly, incredibly endearing. And this is a really, really strong one. There's also a strong, I'm not libertarian, but there's a lot of libertarian sensibility in Wes Anderson's work a lot of the time, which is, we feature capitalists in this and communists in this, but a libertarian is someone who strongly believes in individual freedom, self-sovereignty, government should not fuck with me. I'm going to do this. That's all I'm going to do. It's about non-aggression and individual rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Like, I'm going to do my shit, fuck what you know, I'm going to do me. Now when put into practice, that's really alienating, but, it's,
because
there
Benicio del Toro,
just like any other belief system, there's elements of it that are valid.
I'd say he's the ultimate he's like libertarian incarnate. Like, he is the ultimate, like I guess a pathway that is possible. If you still care about money and that's your goal, is to be wealthy. It seems that was his, or he seemed to come from money though. It's like his father, they all had these schemes and all had these plans, and I don't know, maybe he did they say like he truly made it on his own, or that, it seemed
Jean-Jacques Corda, I think they say he made it on his own in the way that we say a lot of billionaires make it on their own, which is like not true.
With a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, that's bullshit. You did not.
Yeah.
There's a part of the I love the part whenever he talks about his dad, whenever he says, my dad's advice to me was, if something's in your way, run it over or whatever,
flatten it. Or,
flatten it. Flatten it.
Eesh. I feel like did they talk about like the sole reason of like some conflict, or was it even like it was just an argument that two people had in a room, and it was about like,
it was their grandparents,
where or how you should lick or something like that. What did it come down, or like something like that? But what was the who could lick whom? I guess. Oh yes, that's right. Who could lick whom? But what did it like cause? Like it ended up causing.
It caused a fallout between the Sussmans and the Cordas, which is what Scarlett Johansson's character is, a Sussman Corda, which is part of it's the two halves of their families, basically.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, so who could lick whom, I guess. And that's whenever like they come back to the end, whenever Benedict Cumberbatch pops up, and ludicrous makeup, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Whenever he pops up, and it's just like why? He goes, who could lick whom, I guess. It's another one of those fuck yeah moments for like there's so much about Wes Anderson that I love how I love how much he relies on his sensibilities and what he thinks will work and what he, like, again, he's very libertarian even in his creation, you know, like, it's like, he doesn't want any studio intervention, nor would any creative, you know, like, I'm going to make it this way. This is what I like to do. But he still manages to grow in every single project for me. And, and I mean that just in terms of ideas, you know, I don't think this is the best Wes movie.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel instantly like, holy shit, is this one of his best? Like I did after Asteroid City. I think that this is middle of the pack. But that's still a really damn good movie in the Wes canon. You know, I think that his, I don't know exactly where it lands. It is getting better and better for me every time I watch it. Which is a good sign. But it falls probably outside the top 5 for me.
Yeah, I haven't quite looked at the list of just Wes's movies in a while, or just all of them next to each other. But yeah, it didn't have that Fantastic Mr. Fox, or it didn't have that like instant, like, yeah, out of the theater. The theater viewing might have helped, I guess, but no, I still think Asteroid City came out. I don't know. That one was kind of, I don't know, made for me.
I did see Phoenician Scheme in the theater though. Like and I didn't feel that way. You know, I was
okay. Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, I loved it. Like I instantly walked out and was like, well, that's top 2 this year. I walked out of Asteroid City and went, well, that's top 1 this year. You know?
Yeah.
And there's no fucking doubt. And so that in different times of the year, whatever. Actually, not very different. I think they were both early June. But regardless, I wanted to walk in there and love it more than anything I've ever loved, of course. And I walked out of there loving it. And Wes Anderson, I mean, he just has a sensibility that speaks to me. You know, the way that he can cultivate and create a world that I can hardly even imagine. Like, I just love it. I love the ideas that he has, and barely anybody's able to execute precisely what they want, exactly the way they want to do it, the way Wes Anderson does.
Yeah. It's cool that he's kind of created his own genre of movies a little bit, and that if anyone kind of tries to attempt it, it's like, it's clearly a clone a little bit. I don't know. So you have to just toe that line of inspiration and try not to just remake what he's doing. But it's what
makes him and Lynch very, very standout filmmakers.
Yes. And that was part of my review as well, is that I'm currently falling in love with Lynch. I've been in love with Wes. That's a relationship that's been so, I don't know, very, very sound ever since we watched every single one of his movies and talked about it, and even the shorts. You know, it felt like it was kind of a hit the ground running for the people in this movie. I feel like a lot of them showed back up in the sets as well, like the corn field or
felt
out
very,
there.
very similar to Ratcatcher or the fucking.
The Swan, I feel like.
Yeah, the Swan. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's lovely, man. I think that, again, visual sensibility wise, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and this really pair together, which is really interesting. Yeah. You know, I think that, like you said, the sets, costume design, all that good stuff. I like the vague time period. You can't tell when this movie takes place.
Yeah.
Very big fan of that. It's obviously not current.
Yeah.
But how far back is it? Hard to say. I don't know. I've always really enjoyed just how anachronistic he's able to tell a story. Just kind of like, we're dropped in and who cares when it is? Fuck it. We're here. I love that.
Yeah. It's crazy looking at his filmography and then being like, oh my God, how many just great movies he makes. And the thing is that just, you know, one has to be at the bottom, or just, you know, one has to be below the other. It's just how it works. But his floor is so high. Like his worst movie is just so already high up in my favorites list of everything. So it is crazy to say, but like Grand
Bottle
Budapest,
Rocket's one of the funniest comedies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and
that's probably my least favorite Wes movie. You know.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that's like, I don't know. That movie's awesome still. That movie's so much fun.
Dude, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And but no, it's I like Grand Budapest, it's wild. Like this top 5, like I feel like for me, I mean 6. Like it's crazy how it just grows like so fast. It's Grand Budapest, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Asteroid City, French Dispatch, Moonrise Kingdom, Darjeeling Limited. I would say like all of those are comfortably above the Phoenician Scheme. Even Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, yes. Like these ones, I feel like they're there. But it's like Phoenician Scheme isn't bottom of the barrel for him, that's for sure. It's not like I'm not rattling off to be like, oh yes, I love all of, like it's to highlight.
No, it's to highlight how great he's consistently been. Yeah, like, because I gave this 5 on Letterboxd. It wasn't a question. It was an easy one for me. I immediately was like, man, I love this movie. And I absolutely do. It's also a really interesting one in the context of, like you said, in anticipation of Asteroid City, we watched all of his movies and we built up to it and stuff.
Yes.
This is his first narratively focused film since Isle of Dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, French Dispatch is a series of anthology shorts. Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is a bunch of short films. And Asteroid City is obviously an emphasis on the structure and format than it is anything else.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on.
This, it's like, you are here not only for Wes's sensibility and his visual style and all that, but there is an actual structure, beginning to end story, not just thematically, oh, these all tie us together and this is, like, it's more than just ideas like Asteroid City and French Dispatch. It's like, here's a narrative that is laid out clearly and concisely for you. And, maybe not clearly, but definitely concisely.
It's nice, the chapters or each shoebox or whatever, each plan that's being put into motion, or and we're going to different places of the world, which is cool. We're meeting with different people and different characters that are introduced. And
love Rhys Ahmed getting introduced into the West canon as well. Loved him, and that's Bodhi Rook right there, baby.
Bodhi Rook
from Rogue One.
No! Oh!
Yeah.
Wow! Yes. Okay.
That
He's
makes the first one who gets his mind melted by Bor Gullet.
Yes.
And then dies like everyone.
Kaboosh! I mean,
exactly.
He got the comms up though, homie. That was necessary.
Real one. He did his job.
Absolutely necessary.
No, love Rhys Ahmed. He was also a Oscar nominee a few years back for The Sound of Metal, which I really, really want to watch. Still, never got around to it.
Let's go.
Nice. He's in a movie that's in theaters right now, actually, so I need to go check that out as well. That one looks dope. I got to find what that's called because I'm not going by without letting Rhys Ahmed get some love here because I love him. I love the basketball sequence.
Yeah.
Is that allowed? Or does that count? Well, it doesn't count, but I've never seen it done before. I fucking love Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, and Rhys Ahmed in that sequence.
Am I allowed to propel the ball in this manner? Or in the
just a thumbs up. Fucking love it. Come on, what's it called? I'm pissed. All right, I'm gonna look up Rhys Ahmed. It'll be there.
Man, oh my god, all of his sons are
Relay.
So funny.
Relay. That is what it's called. Thank you.
Relay.
Had to figure it out. Coming out tomorrow as of the date of recording. So it'll be out this weekend as of the date of release.
Time travel, yes. Time warp. But
is this future or is it past?
Oh no. I don't want to. This. I'm still in brain soup.
For those listening who are out of the know, there's been a few Twin Peaks references that Joe has been going. Oh no. Every once in a while, we're also doing a Twin Peaks podcast called Fire Pod with me. So if you're into Twin Peaks, you should check it out. But this, I don't know. I'm glad, Wes. I feel right again. I have seen every single one of his movies. I guess I don't know. There's a few. Maybe these are shorts. I'm assuming. Come together. And,
yes. Do you like
Cousin
to read,
Ben?
The Girl from Jupiter is like what it says on the poster, but it's like, do you like to read? Is the actual title?
Yeah, that was paired with like Moonrise Kingdom. That was one of the books. that she read, and
that's cool.
Castello Cavalcanti is actually really, really good. I like that one a lot. That was like I can't remember if that was Versace. I can't remember what it was, but like Come Together, I think is an H&M thing. It's like a long H&M commercial. Castello Cavalcanti. I can't remember if it is. I want to say Versace. I might be mistaken.
Castello in Italy, a race car driver, Jed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Versace, I guess, in just the description. What do you mean by Versace? Like just the designer? Like
sometimes designers will hire filmmakers to make basically short films where everybody's wearing their shit.
I see. Okay, I got you.
And it operates as an ad. Like a couple years ago, that one with
The Pen. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke. Oh, The Pen as well. Yeah. But the one with Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke, the Pedro Almodovar film, Strange Way of Life, where they were gay cowboys. I don't know if you remember that.
Wait, I think I remember. I never watched it, but I think I remember.
No, yeah, I mean, like it was a big deal. I mean, it came out, I think, 2023. 30-minute short film, 40-minute short film, something like that. I'm pretty sure that one. Now I want to say that was Versace too, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Versace at least giving Wes, some more. I like at least. I'd rather it be feature films, but if it's gonna be, at least it gives you Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal.
Castello Cavalcanti was distributed by Prada. That's what it was.
And Prada and Versace, I think, are owned by the same conglomerate that owns every single other designer brand that you can ever think of. So maybe it's he's getting it. He's on the inside. He's his scheme is working. He's getting up to the top right now, and he's one day, 150 years worth of profit, in the future or whatever that he said. He's but he only. It was 150 years of profit or prosperity, but we only take 5% at the end of the day.
Right.
Is what the goal was. So it's like and to live, 5% of the global economy still seems a bit, I don't know, still a bit greedy, but hey, I guess if you truly create utopia, if his plan went well, sure, but I don't know. I loved the conclusion. I didn't think of the conclusion of they just sell they go back to square zero. I don't know, and have live actual normal lives and not the life he was where he's not a human any longer.
Right.
And yeah, it just took him dying, I feel you, man.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah. I feel you. I was a little robotic, even after death a little bit, but definitely it was the one event that was like, whoa, hello. Maybe think of things a little differently from here on out. And yeah, can't say I had a black and white, visitation with Willem Dafoe or Bill Murray or any of these people.
F. Murray Abraham or anybody. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, it's basically, I love the greatest hits nature of the cast. Because I love that it's actually, in rare fashion, usually, like in previous movies, we bounce around the cast a lot. It hasn't really been on in live action since Grand Budapest Hotel, when we stuck with Monsieur Gustave and Zero Mustafa the whole time. French Dispatch is 3 different stories or 4 different stories, a writing staff and all this stuff. Asteroid City, we have Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, the kids, the doctors, the scientists, the military, like there's all sorts of stuff. And, like Jason Schwartzman's the center of it, but you spend a lot of time without him, I feel like.
Yeah.
We hardly spend any time without Benicio del Toro, Mia Threppleton, and Michael Cera in this movie.
Is there any time without him? No, I'm trying.
I'm pretty sure he's on screen at every moment except for whenever they're in the sequences with Rupert Friend.
The corporate meetings.
Yes,
yes. Okay, whenever they're. Yes, we will plan to take him down fiscally, and maybe if he dies, oh well, oopsies. And,
the U.S. governmental intervention there. Michael Cera being a spy, absolutely incredible.
Oh my god,
I love
his transformation.
One of my favorite things about this movie is that it understands so completely what Michael Cera's strengths as a performer are. And Mia Threppleton's. Like, their chemistry is great because she's so dominant and he's so submissive. Like, she demands your attention for being like you're like kind of in awe of her a little bit when she's on screen. And Michael Cera demands that you look away, which is kind of funny. Like he asks you, no, please don't look at me. You know, basically like that is the vibe he puts off. And then to subvert that expectation and understanding of Sarah and be like, see, basically the same guy. I fucking love whenever he reveals who he is. And is that mustache fake?
Yeah. Yes,
no, well, yes, but it's based on one I usually have. Dude, outstanding.
He's like actually hot too, which is weird. Like I've always, like
I've never thought Michael Cera was fine.
It's like it was just so weird. He's always the quirky or weird kind of character. I feel like, or you know, but then he comes out like that, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what? Why?
Well, it shows how far styling someone can go. Yeah? You know, like
That's true.
That vibe, that look, it works for him. That moment at the end of the movie when he pulls out the wedding ring and like shows it to Mia Threppleton, I love that. Yeah. I love that. I love that image. It's just so satisfying. And I don't know, man. It's one that I won't get tired of. You know, I will be able to watch this ad infinitum. I expect it. It has probably the most growth potential of any Wes movie for me, though, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Very.
I think that, and the kind of movie that I don't think I've gotten everything I can get out of it.
That's true. Yes.
Even after 3 viewings, I don't feel like I've gotten everything there is to be gotten. I think that I will watch this again. I will understand it a little bit more. Maybe it'll speak to me a little bit more, and it'll creep up the ranking. My Wes Anderson internal ranking, if you will.
I'll help myself to a hand grenade. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be going back.
You're kind. You're very kind. Yeah. You sit here. You sit here. You sit here. I'll sit here.
Yes. Oh yes, Jeffrey Wright. Oh yeah, it was so nice. Like the Wes cameos, if you will. You know the version of what everyone wants so bad in the MCU of someone to pop up is
this
actually
is the multiverse.
The Wes verse is so good.
Come on in, man. Yes. Come on, man.
Yeah,
man.
That's enough blood. That's enough, man. Jeffrey Wright is.
That's enough blood, man. I fucking love Jeffrey Wright, and definitely, if there's any actor I ever wish there's more of him, it's Jeffrey Wright. But I mean, he's perfect in the little role that he does pop in and play. It's like I said, greatest hits, man. They got a little bit of everybody back, and it really works for me. And I could have, I mean, like, no Leia Seydoux. Could have used a little more Leia Seydoux. Come on. True. I could always use a little more Leia Seydoux.
Yeah. Could have been a Liesel, I got, but, we gave Mia Threppleton,
she's good. Shine. She's going to be the one. I think that, maybe it's interesting the people who kind of end up slipping through the cracks for Wes Anderson, though, like performers and actors who never came back, and you're like, that's bizarre that they never found their way back.
Let's see.
Like, I'm really intrigued by the fact Jared Gilman hasn't been in anything since Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah,
that's always been a really interesting one.
I know.
They feel like they kind of fit perfect, and Jared Gilman is still a working actor. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, interesting to me.
Man. Come on.
Bring him back. Yeah. Bring him back. We did get a little bit of Tony Revolori in both French Dispatch and Asteroid City, but in very limited capacity. He played the young Zero in Grand Budapest, where he was, he was like Benicio del Toro when he was younger in the French Dispatch. So he's in the movie for like 2 minutes, if that. And then he's the aide to Jeffrey Wright in Asteroid City. So like he's just kind of there. He says a few things, but that's it. I would like to see him back in a more major capacity too, because that movie really showed how good he was. But I hope Mia Threppleton doesn't fall into that category. I think she could be one that he utilizes more in the future. Maybe a new sort of muse in the vein of Jason Schwartzman and Owen Wilson and those kinds of actors. Michael Cera does feel destined to
I hope
pop up more.
Yes.
Not main characters. This is probably the biggest Wes role he'll ever have. But I imagine he'll pop up a lot more in the future, which I look forward to.
Is there anything that is in the plans? Like, is there anything that's known that he's working on, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, they did. I believe there has been something as far as what his next movie will be, or what his next movie could be. But I don't
Yeah, I guess the only thing post Phoenician Scheme is the Mont Blanc Let's Write, another Penn video. It looks like
the Penn
possibly.
the Penn short films. Yes, yes.
So, but
a little bit more Rupert. Michael Cera back. Look at that.
Wow,
Michael Cera's in that.
And McGregor, is that the daughter? Yeah, is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay, there you go. I guess
Esther McGregor.
A new Penn short, possibly. That I guess I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen.
You and McGregor in a Wes Anderson thing, please. Oh. Please, for the love of God, put him in a Wes Anderson thing.
That's nice. That would be good. Maybe yes, got the daughter. It's the pathway.
Foot in the door.
Yes.
Foot in the door.
Mm-hmm. It's happening.
I would love that.
But I wonder what he's going to next. I mean, it feels like I don't know. He's always gone.
He's ripping at about every 2-year pace right now. Mm-hmm. 2018, Isle of Dogs. 2021, French Dispatch. Got to account for the COVID year there. It's basically 2 years instead of 3.
Do you think he
2023, Asteroid City.
Motion?
2025, Phoenician Scheme. I mean, I'd invite it. I would invite it, but I think he's hitting a certain stride right now. Granted, he's on pace. Where Fantastic Mr. Fox came out in 2009,
2018.
Isle of Dogs came out in 2018, 9 years after that would be 2 years after now, which would be the 2027 film.
Could be possible.
So it's possible. It's possible.
The cats. It's gonna be some animal. It feels, we get fox, dog.
I feel like that's how he's got to, like, if it's not animals, like he can just shoot it if it's not animals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I was gonna make a wild guess to see if it lands of an animal that he's gonna go with. But
Wes Anderson's A Bug's Life.
Yes, little bugs. Michael Cera, yes, that's the clue. That he's a professor of bugs.
Yes.
But stop motion, Bug's Life. Yes, that could be very interesting. But
I'm there for it.
He's I don't know. He's done it. He's done it again. I feel like he'll always do it.
He'll always do it. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm never like, if Wes Anderson ever makes a movie that I'm like, ooh, I will be mind blown.
That's true.
It would be the most shocking thing in the world for me if Wes Anderson made a movie I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I don't say that in a way that's like, oh, I force myself to like Wes Anderson movies. No, he's just literally never made a thing I didn't like. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, I mean, a lot of people view his earliest stuff as his best stuff, and they view that his trajectory has been a consistent downward spiral, which I completely disagree with.
Wow.
I can't fathom that. Because I view his earliest work as his least refined. I view his earliest work as kind of, and there's a beauty in that.
It's more traditional as well. He's establishing himself.
Rushmore, probably the most underrated Wes Anderson movie in my opinion. Rushmore fucking rules, and I need to give that another watch badly.
I didn't give that one its flowers. I don't think. I feel like.
We thought this is a fun little behind the scenes story. I don't know if we ever actually talked about it on the air. We thought Asteroid City was coming out a full week earlier than it was.
That's right. And we skipped it and went back.
We skipped the first two and started with Royal Tenenbaums and went all the way up through French Dispatch. And then we had to wait another week for the movie. So we were like, well, fuck it. Let's watch the first two, and it's like a nice little, and we watched Rushmore, and then Bottle Rocket, and then Asteroid City. So
that's right.
Rushmore became this kind of like, guess we'll cover it thing, and we kind of rushed it, we watched it, we talked about it, and that was kind of how it went. So I wonder if that affected the sort of in-betweener nature it has. But, I mean, I love it. I love that movie too. So I remember I watched it. I think it's one of the ones where it ended, and I watched it again.
I think I remember that sounds familiar. It reminds me of not very similar, but in the same vein-ish as like The Holdovers. Like it could be a movie that is just a very nice comfort holiday feely movie. Even though I don't even think it doesn't even snow once. I don't know. And
no, it's definitely not a
school time or something. I don't know. But
yeah, it's coming of age, and it's it's really sweet. I think that this is one of those movies that I anticipate will just get better and better, kind of in the same vein as Rushmore for me. Like, just when I think about it, I'll think about it more positively and more positively. And I mean, there's a lot of little stuff we haven't even touched on. That's the beautiful thing about Wes Anderson movies is that they're so breezy. They're 90 to 110 minutes basically at the max usually. And they're so dense. There's so much in them, you know, like, I love Randall Park's pilot. I love the pilot role, firing him in midair and then ejecting him from the cockpit, letting him drink and pilot is so funny. Someone poisoned his beer. You let him drink in the cockpit just while he's flying, which is...
That's the noise that was made right before the bomb went off last time, but it didn't this time. I'm not worried about it.
Is this supposed to be on board? How much time does it say? 18 minutes. Oh, that's perfect. We land in 10. No big deal. No problem. Myself, I feel very safe.
Myself, I feel... That's right. That's what he came back to every time. It was...
Myself, I feel very safe. Yes, but you're in the habit of surviving. I love that.
The classic sequence, like the above ceiling, like down shot of the bat when he's healing from the plane crash and just like all the nurses going through. I guess technically one shot, actually. So I think, wow. I gotta... maybe have to go with that. But I think the pick I'm going to go with is whenever they're in the jungle and there's backlighting through the jungle. Like the sun is, I don't know, behind Liesel, and it's just like her face lit up from behind. I don't know. It was beautiful. It's the letterboxed backdrop that I have on. And it was very, very nice. But I didn't think of the continuous him in the bathtub just eating and getting healed and reading. And
one of my favorites is at Bob's Club, Marseille Bob's Club. The introduction to that club interior, we get this panning shot where everyone's moving in slow motion. But I can't tell if the camera is making them move in slow, like if we've sped up the frame rate, or if the people are literally doing that.
I felt that way in that sequence. The top down, it was like sometimes it felt like the camera, and sometimes not. Yeah, it was. I felt like he was playing with that, and that.
And that was what was cool is in that sequence. There's people dancing, and they're like, there are people specifically like spinning, wearing dresses, and their dresses are moving slowly. And I'm like, but it doesn't look like it's in slow motion. That's what, like, I love the way that shot looks, and I love the way that entire interior looked. By the way, the club sequence is gorgeous. Also,
why are you shooting my ceiling? Come on, please.
He's like, this is a robbery. He's like, no. I understand that. You know,
I got that. Yeah, but come on, dude.
Just take your shit and leave, man. Like you don't need to shoot my club. The part in the elevator when the guy takes the suicide pill and Liesel blesses his body fucking kills me.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I recognize you. Oh, you used to work for me. You're an assassin. Yeah, or whatever. Just, instantaneous. Who do you work for?
She's like muttering to herself, throwing holy water down. Fucking kills me. I love that.
But he's never killed. He's in polygraph. And I did not learn how to pass the polygraph. I guess we don't know if that is
if
true.
If he did, he would, you wouldn't,
it's true. And he does, he is on seemingly a sincere spiritual journey at the end, but then whenever his brother is like, I'll sign, he's like, okay, good, that is what I was hoping you would do, thank you very much, and kind of, or whatever. But it's also, why wouldn't he turn that down? Like,
just like tactfully, if he could have achieved this spiritual growth on his own, and then also also he doesn't have to pay the money, that would have been cool. But I think my single favorite moment of the movie, though, is whenever they're about to go meet with what's the uncle's name? Uncle.
Oh gosh, Benedict's character.
Yeah,
that's.
I feel like it starts with an N. Newbar. Uncle Newbar. Whenever they're about to walk into his room, and he goes, regardless of how this goes, regardless of if you're my daughter or not, and even if you truly aren't, can I adopt you?
Yeah.
And she's like, which is obviously in no way a legal practice. It's an emotional practice because she's 21.
Yeah, I guess it is just like, it was a moment that she was like, no, I'm actually proud to call you my father.
You are my dad.
And
and
what you are doing, I am. It feels right, and it does feel sincere. So even
you're on the right path. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not until after that he realizes all the other, like, he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. You know, like, she's already accepted him for who he is in a capacity, and then he becomes even better because of her acceptance. And I think that's I mean, that's a real, it's a lovely movie, man. It's a lovely arc between those two. And I think that, I do genuinely think it will age better and better and better for me. And I mean, like, it's still top 2 on the year for me so far. Like, there's not another, it's only Sinners above it for me.
True.
And,
yeah, of 2025. Yeah, I guess, I'd have to agree with you, I think there. Mickey 17? No. Superman? Superman. I don't know.
Superman's tough. Superman's tough.
That's a little tough. But maybe a 2A, 2B situation there. But definitely Sinners. We'll take the cake for the movie.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, I can't wait for the Sinners is overrated discourse that's inevitably going to come around because everyone loves it. And people have to not like things that everyone loves.
Yeah, the classics are always hated right away. I don't know.
Yep. Everything Everywhere All at Once has become a film that's very popular to go, yeah, not good. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's okay to just love something so much.
And it's also okay if you don't like it.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
people out there
just say that. Yeah, just say that. You know, you don't have to be like, this movie's actually bad and you're dumb for liking it.
If you do love this movie and you think it was good, you suck.
You're an idiot. You're a dummy.
The wrong
way
to think.
That's not how things with art go.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I don't know. I wonder, has Wes, he's never had an IMAX camera, right? He's never been given this capability.
No,
I wonder what the hell that looks like. You know, what does that mean? If Wes has hold, I wonder if it complicates, I don't know, things a little too much. If it slows him down,
probably
too much.
Would. I'd imagine that he wouldn't even want to fuck with an IMAX camera, because there's actually footage, like behind the scenes footage of people shooting with IMAX cameras for like, Nolan, Coogler, whatever. Those things are like a fucking engine running.
Yeah, that's true. They're massive, and
they're massive, and they're loud as fuck. Like they are revving basically with an IMAX camera. So like
reeling that film, and that's a big ass reels of film.
Like, man. Like that's why I'm like, I think that when it comes to a Wes movie, he probably doesn't need it. I would love to see it if he, if he ever wanted to. But the other thing is that those cost an unbelievable amount of money to shoot with. Yeah. And his budgets are never that inflated. Actors basically agree to go, yeah, I would love to be a part of this. And, they're still making as much money as I'll make in a year for one fucking movie. But like, for them, that's not very much.
And I feel he has a lot of very close up, just shots of people's faces. And like, I love the behind the scenes of Cillian Murphy being filmed in Oppenheimer, and like
just this gigantic mechanism.
Like, oh my god, like that would be it'd be so hard to act against, or like how to get that out of your mind. I feel like it's just another layer the actor kind of has to go through. But no, this I don't know. I would like to see just what that would entail. I feel like he would approach the cinematography a lot differently if he just had.
I think he would too, and I think that. I'm at a place where Wes this is for me the first step in something of an evolution for him. I think that The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and this feel like we're heading into a new chapter. And those two are kind of the start of it. Whereas I think, the Grand Budapest Hotel was the beginning of a chapter that ended with Asteroid City. And that was kind of, and Royal Tenenbaums was the beginning of a chapter that ended with, Moonrise Kingdom, and like there's kind of like these phases I feel like I've seen in his career, and I think we've started a new one, and I look forward to what that looks like going forward. Because like one of the things that I just take an intense amount of joy in thinking about is the fact that Martin Scorsese 3 of my 4 favorite Martin Scorsese movies have been made after that man was 75.
Oh. Wow, what a
you know what I'm saying?
What a thought for Wes.
Wes and his movies are less intense. They're less he's not as active a director. There's not as much he has to, there's not as much he literally has to do. And with him being crazy enough, he is coming up on 60.
Wow, really? I would not have thought him that old.
I think he was born in 69, so he's 55.
Let's go.
He's 55, so he's not coming up on 60, I don't want to. He's not like 59 coming up on 60, but he's 55, there are a lot of places he's qualifying for a senior discount.
Looking good. Looking great.
Oh, looks fantastic.
Lynch
that's what
and him. They got the hair.
Yeah.
Bro, they both
got the hair, and they got, when you have creative freedom and you're allowed to do what you want to do, this is what happens.
You just look good. But, you're happy.
You do. And that's why, I take intense joy in the idea of what his movies. How many more movies we could get from him?
And it seems
because
the actors
he's
love
rattling.
It too.
What's it been? 30 years deep, 30 years of a career, and he's made 11 movies. He's probably got at least another 30 years in him. So we're looking at probably another 10 movies at least.
Yes, I hope that we don't just see AI trying to recreate Wes in or any fashion of that, and it's just we get him.
No. He
lives until 150 himself. He's an anomaly, and we just get him forever.
He still looks like that.
Yeah, 50 for 56. He's looking great for 50. Like that is, I don't know his.
And 56. 56 is the new 40.
I guess if
humans
are
if you've got money,
older,
you're good.
And he does have money. That does help. Yeah, that's a big. Help.
It's not everything. It doesn't guarantee you anything, but it helps.
But no, he's he will always be up there. And I'm glad that I'm finally. Maybe I got to watch these other shorts. Actually, I do feel a little remiss that I don't have those. But at least all of his. His
the shorts
are movies.
Yeah, they're nice and fun. They're cute little watches that I love the Cousin Ben troop screening or whatever it is. It's a little extra Jason Schwartzman as Cousin Ben from Moonrise Kingdom bit.
That's
love that stuff.
Any Wes and Jason, I don't know. They're
big fan.
He will be. I don't know. The next movie is Jason Schwartzman and Michael Cera, and I don't know. That's the live action guess that I'll give, and then I do like the Bugs Life guess for if he goes back to stop motion.
I would love that.
But no,
I would love that.
But he I don't know. I'll get those other ones in. But this one it's coming in surprisingly. I guess middle of the pack for Wes, I guess. But definitely I agree with you on the potential to grow. It is one that I definitely will revisit, and that there is a lot more to take out of it versus I think I've gotten a lot of I've watched Asteroid City to hell. I watched that movie on repeat after it came out. I've gotten what I can get, I feel like, out of Asteroid City, and but yeah, I gotta start the process for this one. I feel like it's the Wes addiction will come back a little bit. But,
it does. It's a special movie, man. All of his movies just hit the spot for me. So I think that's all I've got to say on it, though. At least for today. Maybe we revisit the Wes canon at some point and discuss it at large a little bit. Because there's plenty to go on there. Maybe an official ranking episode. I don't think we ever actually did that like we once said we would. That'd be
fun. Yeah, that'd be
something to consider.
Nice.
Something to consider. Maybe in anticipation of the next one.
Yes,
I think with that, I'll do the plugs. We will rate this movie after that, and then Joe will announce what the next episode of Cinema Surprise will be and what a surprise it will be.
I wonder.
We are currently also doing Geek With Me. It's a nerd shit podcast. We are currently covering Alien Earth and Peacemaker. It's been a great deal of fun. Earlier this week was Alien Earth episodes 3 and 4, and next week will be Peacemaker episodes 1 and 2 of season 2. I'm very, very excited for that. You got to check those out. We're alternating week after week with a couple episodes at a time for Alien Earth and Peacemaker Season 2 on Geek With Me. Geek With Me also is where our backlog of Wes Anderson movies is, our Wes Anderson coverage is. We did, like we said, every Wes Anderson movie, including Asteroid City, back when Geek With Me was still the Penny Bloom podcast. We've done a lot of rebranding, a lot of stuff, but that's ultimately where you can still find it, is in that backlog on Geek With Me. We're also doing, we alluded to Lynch. We did a couple Twin Peaks references. I even mentioned it at some point. We're also doing Fire Pod With Me, a Twin Peaks podcast. We are careening towards the end of season 2, the original run of Twin Peaks. We've got Fire Walk With Me coming up. We've got The Missing Pieces coming up. And then ultimately we are going to jump into Twin Peaks The Return. That is a podcast friendly to the first time viewer and the rewatcher alike. I'm rewatching Twin Peaks. Joe is watching it for the first time and he is fucking loving it. It is taking over his brain. Let it take over your brain as well and take us along for the ride. Go ahead and watch Twin Peaks if you've never seen it. And if you have seen it, go ahead and jump into the podcast, or, rewatch it along with us. It's a lot of fun. You get to listen to Joe go crazy with theories. You get to listen to me egg him on. I actually had someone hit me up recently, go, Colton, you can't say things like that. Joseph will catch on. I go, buddy, you don't know. You don't know what I know. And it's not how. If you don't know, you don't know. The only reason he was picking it up is because he knows. So that's just how things work. Shout out to Ivan, real one. That's a Blue Sky Mutual, but it's a lot of fun. So if you have seen Twin Peaks, it's the podcast for you. If you haven't seen Twin Peaks, it's the podcast for you. More than anything, you should watch Twin Peaks. And then you can go ahead and jump into the podcast if you wanna. I don't mind either way. Like I said, for Cinema Surprise, we'll be back next week. Joe is going to be announcing what film we are discussing after we rate the Phoenician Scheme here. So let's do that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the Phoenician Scheme?
This is an interesting question. I didn't quite go for the 5-er on Letterboxd, surprisingly. For Wes, for any movie out of everything, it's 5. But for Wes, I gave it a 4.5. And I don't know why. It felt right. But it wasn't a top tier Wes movie, and I think that was it.
No, I agree with that.
To make the distinction of that, it wasn't quite there. So, but it's a weird, to rate a Wes movie because, easily over Close Encounters, that's for sure. If we're going off recent numbers, that was 7.38 or a 7.4 is what that came out to be. We're in the 8s or not, 9s. I feel like is still with Wes, or maybe like a 9. I don't know. A 9 still feels a bit high, which is my gut took me 8.75. We do 0.25 intervals here for those who are curious. 7.5. Yeah, I like
8.75 is kind of where my gut took me. I think, and I think my first viewing of it, it probably would have been an 8.5 or an 8.25. It is getting better and better for me. And I think that it has the capacity to creep into the 9s. But it didn't, and again, we are comparing, this is why rating movies is funny. Because like you said, I'm rating it against other Wes Anderson movies. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm doing. And other Wes Anderson movies, he has at least 3 that I would go, that is a 10 and there's no fucking doubt about it. And I mean at least 3. It could be as many as 5 for me. Maybe 6, which is wild. So when it comes to where this falls, 9 would be my ceiling. I could get with a 9, but I'm a go 8.75.
I like that. It's just not quite to that 9. But the 8s felt right. But even an 8.5, I don't know. That's Wes deserves more than an 8.5 at all.
Sounds like 8.75 is exactly the right number.
I think we're there. No real math needed. There. We got an 8.75 or a good old 8.8 if you want to be nice, to him and round
88% on the old Cinementilometer.
Yes.
We love those.
So there we are.
I mean, it's a market upgrade from our first edition of the new season of Cinema Surprise.
Yes.
Very about much. 15% increase, 14% increase. So doing well.
We're seeing dividends. The returns
are slowly growing.
So.
The profits will continue to grow tenfold over the next 150 years.
Of course. Yes.
But and I imagine they will do so next week. Joe, go ahead and give it to me.
Yeah.
What is Cinema Surprise episode 3 of season 2 going to be? Your second pick of the project. What are we looking at?
Well, I can't escape this man. No, I'm going. I kind of related Alien a little bit. I was in the Alien mind when I picked Close Encounters. I'm very heavily in the Peaks mind and in the David Lynch world, and it's only right to finally have another viewing that I've meant to do for quite some time, like the Phoenician Scheme. This movie's been staring at me right in the face. You gave it to me. You know what it's going to be. No real surprise for you. But for everyone else, it is Blue Velvet from David Lynch, 1986. And yes, I get more Kyle MacLachlan. I get more Lynch. I get I don't know. I don't know. Obviously another first viewing for me, so I don't know if it's going to be above the Phoenician Scheme. No offense, Wes, but I'm kind of in the Lynch phase right now, and I'm having a feeling that this one is
Blue Velvet is. Oh, I love Blue Velvet. That's one of my favorites, and I mean period.
Ooh.
So
yes,
not just one of my favorite Lynch. I'm talking like a top 25 favorite film ever made.
Here we
type
go.
Shit for me. I love Blue Velvet. You're not just getting more Kyle MacLachlan, you're getting more Laura Dern. You're getting more Isabella Rossellini. You're getting more Dennis Hopper. We're in Blue Velvet is special and kind of a great precursor of sorts to Twin Peaks, kind of a spiritual predecessor to Twin Peaks, I think. A lot of the sensibilities and philosophy of Twin Peaks kind of finding itself in Blue Velvet. So I look very much so forward to next week.
I get the reverse. I get the complete reverse. Well, not quite. I haven't finished Peaks in its entirety, but at least the first original run and then viewing Blue Velvet instead of seeing Blue Velvet first and then diving into what he did there. But so I'm ready. I'm ready to keep it going. 2 directors back to back for me that are, right now, 1 and 2 for me.
Three directors back to back, really. Here in this project, we got Spielberg, Wes Anderson, and David Lynch right now in this 6 movie run. We're gonna feast. I have a feeling we're gonna keep feasting here. So that brings the 80s off the board, though, which is a massive decade to be taking a hit. 80s movies that were on the table for me did include Blue Velvet. I knew you'd want to get around to it, so I figured that was one that was going to come up.
Yes.
Blue Velvet was on the table for me. Paris, Texas was one of my one of my 80s picks. That's a Harry Dean Stanton one, so that would have been nice for a different reason. Let's see. The Elephant Man, a different Lynch movie that came out in 1980, was one I was considering. There was beyond that, there wasn't much I was really hardcore considering 80s. It was really Paris, Texas was going to be my 80s film if you didn't take one. It wasn't going to be next by any stretch, but I've always got one lined up for every decade. And if you take one off the table, so be it. But yeah, Blue Velvet, I very much so look forward to covering that next week. And we'll be back next Friday with Blue Velvet.
Yes.
How sweet it is. But, I also covered the Phoenician Scheme on my Substack. Go ahead and check that out. Look up Colton Robertson. Look up the Cinementalists on Substack. You'll find me writing about the movies. I wrote 2,000 words on the Phoenician Scheme, which is a lot harder than talking for an hour and 20 minutes on it. And I did that fresh out of the theater. It was a little, possibly the rawest reaction I've had to a movie on that platform, period. And it was my first article over there, so you can go ahead and check that out whenever you get the chance. Very, very thorough. Very thorough. And spoiler free. So there's that as well, if you want to give that to anybody who hasn't seen it. But yeah, I think with that, we can conclude this episode of The Cinementalists, Cinema Surprise, and The Phoenician Scheme. I was Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, myself, I feel very safe.